What is going on, everybody? We are back. It's JBuck Live. It's been a while. People. We're hanging out. We're doing our thing. What is going on, everyone? All 27 of you in the chat right now. What is going on, everyone? Can you hear me? It's been a while, people. We're hanging out. There we go. All right. Well, without further ado, let's just kick right into this sumbitch and hang out, talk about some movies, some movie news. Intro, here we go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for ridiculousness, I guess. Live show. We're doing some crazy stuff. How is everyone going? Welcome to the new year. Yes, we are in the brand new year. 2020, that is. We got Mr. I-100 in here. What is going on, Mr. I-100? Hopefully you're having a great new year and everything like that. Yeah, I don't have the coloring right now, but you know what? Whatever. We're just going to hang out. Yeah, so we're live over on YouTube. We're just going to talk about some of the favorite movies of 2020, obviously. And then people here on TikTok, what is going on, what's good, people on TikTok. If you want the full visual aid of what's going to go on with this presentation, essentially, hop over to YouTube, at JBuck Studios for some fun stuff over there. But yeah, we're just going to hang out, talk about some news, talk about some 2020 movies that are my favorites that I remember because, surprise, surprise, people, I haven't done my top 20 or bottom 20, top 10 best, 10 worst of 2020, and I don't even know if I will because the amount of time that goes into that video, I think it can be spent elsewhere, but also I've been super busy with the company, Room 56, with my buddy Nolan, a.k.a. NPA. I've been doing podcasts a lot with the SoCo show, and then just been trying to watch as many movies and content and TikToks, creating a bunch of those as possible. What is going on, Gearmore, over on TikTok? What is going on? But people over on YouTube, what has been going on? Hopefully you guys have been having a great New Year so far. We got Art in here. Oh my God, it's the same Major Bedhead. Major Bedhead. No, this is just my hair now. Like this is no bedhead. I just need to get a haircut really, really bad. And then we got Cody Michael of the SoCo show. Hey, Shoddy. Yeah, just hanging out, man. Guy at the movies. It's a lot. Yeah. The thing is, my theory of this is, so no one knows how the future is going to play out. Say I go bald. Say in, 1, 2, 10, 15 years I go bald. This is what you do, people. You grow your hair out when you're younger. And then you go and shave it all off, and then you make a wig out of your own hair, so then if and when that event of you going bald does happen, you then make a wig out of your own hair. No one will ever notice. Perfection. $1 million idea right there, people. We got Mark in here. We got Guy at the movies. What is going on, Guy? And then we got... I can't even pronounce that. Scream 5 is going to be so good. Yes, Scream 5 is going to be lit, people. It's going to be awesome. The thing is, with movie delays, and that's one thing we'll probably touch on. Again, it's going to be more of a laid-back show, just kind of chilling, talking about, again, 2020 movies. We'll get into that in a bit. But we'll probably talk about a little bit of news up front, and then also kind of the structure of this live show moving forward. I've had some thoughts on it, all of that stuff. If I just took this off right now and it was all fake, that'd be really funny. Yeah, really, really funny. God, what was I gonna say though? Oh yeah, Scream 5. That's the thing is, there's a lot of movies that have been delayed, obviously, with the new slew of news coming out. A big one, No Time to Die. Basically, that Tenet watch bit that I was doing of every week, a Tenet was getting delayed. I might have to do that with No Time to Die now because apparently no one wants to buy it. They keep delaying it. They don't know what to do with it. So it's an interesting situation. Hey, we got Dino Squad over on TikTok. What is going on, Dino Squad? And then let's see here. We have Kieran. Hey, Jared, saw your Wonder Woman review. Was wondering if you've watched it again. I unfortunately have not watched it again. I just haven't had time to rewatch stuff lately. Like, literally, the last year has been really difficult for me to go back and rewatch stuff. There's been a handful of stuff. There's been really kind of like chill movies, like one, I think it's 2018's Hearts Beat Loud. It's on Hulu. It's a wonderful movie. It is a feel-good movie. It is absolutely, like, I adore that film. So I've probably watched that 3 times recently. As for other movies, not so much. So fingers crossed in the next couple days, or not couple days, next coming weeks, I have a little bit of time to rewatch some stuff or just play video games or more live stream content and whatnot, because I've just been, again, swamped because this week I have to watch Locked Down, which is a HBO Max movie. I have to watch a Netflix movie, and I also have to watch One Night in Miami, I think that's what it's called, from Amazon. So very busy. And then obviously Friday, everyone's excited for WandaVision episodes 1 and 2 coming out Friday. So it's going to be a very, very busy week for everyone. Hey, we got Josh over on TikTok. What is going on, Josh? Yeah, killing it on TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay afloat, man. Trying to push out that content and keep all of the fans engaged. All of you guys that are following. Good stuff for sure. We got Mark in the chat. What is going on, Mark? I plan that when I go bald to get incredibly crazy wigs like blue-green hair. I want to look like an anime character. Now, Mark, you have a good idea right there. That's a solid idea for sure. Cool. As for myself, what's been going on from this last week, or we didn't even have a show last week. I did a TikTok live a couple days ago and just kind of chatted, but yeah, you guys over on YouTube, we haven't really had JBuck live. You know what? First thing, I'm just going to announce it. So JBuck live has been weird. And I don't know if you guys in the chat have kind of noticed it, where it started as one thing where it was fun, kind of a variety show, commercials, bits, segments, and everything like that. But to be honest, it took 8 hours to prep that show. And I really liked it, but it was like, oh man, 8 hours is a long time to, prep a show. And then it kind of turned into this weird chasing the news type show where I was just reporting on news essentially. And now with, the movie theaters being closed, movies being delayed, streaming platforms like Netflix very much being the ones that are like running the gambit of films right now, even movie news is really low. So what I'm getting at is JBuck Live, I still really want to do this on Tuesdays because it's fun. It gives me a break of my normal content. It allows me to be live with you all. But I'm thinking of changing it a bit where it might be more of a, not monthly, but like it's still going to be weekly, still going to go live weekly. But the shows might be different. For example, like a show like tonight where I'm just hanging out. We're going to talk about some movies, some movie news, just, the way the show has been previously. We'll do that. But then like the next week, if there's movie news that's a little bit slow, I want to do like a game night with you guys. For example, like Jackbox, like those games where we can all play on the live stream. You guys can be on your phones. The first 5, 10, I don't know how many people can play the game at once, but the first few people that come in get to play along with me on the show, and then everyone else gets to be audience members. So basically, it'd still be like JBuck Live, where we're still kind of talking in the chat and whatnot, but it would be, again, that kind of live, like game type thing where I don't know, not necessarily movie trivia, but yeah, like Jackbox games. I think you can narrow it down by topic and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. We got Nolan. What is going on, Nolan, over on TikTok? What is going on, sir? But that is another thing. And then, okay, so normal show, game night, and then just a Q&A, like a straight-up Q&A where I might bring guests on, which I think would be really fun, of like you guys get to actually ask questions or have kind of like a more relaxed podcast feel where I would maybe have a guest on for 30 minutes, not the full hour, and we're just talking about whatever concepts, or not concepts, but topics you all in the chat want to talk about. So I think that that'd be an interesting dynamic of how this show is going to go, because again, I love all of you guys being in here that keep coming back every week. We got Kieran, we have Art, we have Mark, we have Mr. I-100, and then anyone and everyone else right there that jumps in every now and then. Like, I love just interacting with you all. But I just felt like I was putting together a show that I wasn't fully in on. Like, some weeks I just did not want to talk about the news or anything. But yeah, I think bringing people on, other creators, my friends of the SoCo show, Nolan, NPA, who's been on a couple times, just to talk about movies, because sometimes it's not the easiest to just talk to a screen. It's more fun to kind of have, again, that conversation with someone else here on the stream, but then you guys all in the chat as well, chiming in. What is going on, Knight Rider? Good evening. How are you doing, Knight Rider? Hopefully you're having a good one. Sounds good. I'm coming for the Trivia Murder Party. Yeah, Trivia Murder Party would be a really fun game for sure. But then, the rest of my schedule, I don't think will really change. I'm still doing a bunch of reviews. I'm doing the reaction series where I'm going to slowly start picking up more of those. Those are tough. We have WandaVision for the next couple or months, essentially. Yeah, every single week for a couple months. And then I don't think I've even announced it live on JBuck Live, but two awesome things happened. I was accepted for the 2021 Sundance Film Festival, which is happening at the end of this month. So I might be a little absent because I'm going to be busy. I essentially have 20 plus movies to watch in 5 days for that film festival. And again, it's a huge honor to be accepted as press to that film festival. It is a huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel, JBuck Studios, myself. I mean, it really wouldn't be without all of you, of me essentially having those numbers and the experience under my belt to essentially be approved as press at the Sundance Film Festival, which again takes place January 27th to February 3rd, I believe. And then another cool thing is I was accepted as press for the South by Southwest Film Festival, the 2021 South by Southwest, which is really cool because, again, I'm pressed for that one. I'm going to basically just watch movies constantly in the middle of March when that one happens. And it's a kind of cool because if you all remember, I was supposed to go to that film festival last year, and that's when COVID hit. That's when everything kind of was delayed, canceled, moved. And that was going to be my first big shot at a film festival, an in-person one, and everything kind of went by the wayside. So South by Southwest, I get to go this year as press, and I get to go next year because I already paid for next year because I paid for last year. That's a whole different thing. But 2 film festivals already, people. We have one at the end of this month. We have one in the middle of March. And then who knows what else is going to happen this year. I think it's really cool. One thing I will say, people that are watching via TikTok or YouTube, please, 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 please subscribe to my channel if you are not. Because come March, Rotten Tomatoes, their application process opens. They only do it twice. They only take critics, Rotten Tomato approved critics, to apply for that 2 times a year, in March and in September. And I'm trying to get numbers, a decent amount of numbers, to be able to apply in March, and we could see. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. We will keep pushing on, but that's one of the big things that's really happening this year that I'm looking forward to, is applying to be a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic. So then I can officially tell you that what's a bad movie? Bucky Larson is a good movie. I think that'd be really funny if I became a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic and I just gave all of these really, really notoriously bad movies positive ratings. That'd be really funny. Hey, we got Jay in here. What is going on, Jay? Please don't forget to check out the music scene in Austin as well. Yeah, no, actually, Jay, that's one thing I got to tell you is I know that that's a huge thing, like the movie, the music, the movies, all of that stuff. Unfortunately, South by Southwest, I think they are limiting how many people are going to be there in person. But it will be, what I am going to attend is essentially a virtual festival. So basically, I'll just be sitting on my couch for a weekend, ordering DoorDash, and then watching all of these movies. But next year, for sure, if everything is still back in order and they have an in-person festival, the music scene is something I definitely want to check out, especially with Nolan, NPA, who was on the channel, because he is big into music. He lives down in Austin, so I think that that'd be really cool to go and check everything out. Yeah, Mr. I-100 started from the bottom. Now I'm here, man. Now I am here. Yeah, just pushing it. And the thing is, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, I make content, but it's you guys watching it, or you guys and gals out there watching it, posting about it, all of that crap. Like, it's cool stuff. It's cool for sure. I'm trying to think movie-wise. I'm trying to think movie news-wise. I want to touch on a few things. Let me know in the chat what you guys want to talk about, because I know that there's kind of all of the delays happening again, and then there's also Netflix came out with a big announcement earlier today that I kind of want to talk about. Hey, we got Gina over on TikTok. What is going on, Gina? How are you doing? Netflix apparently came out with like a promo or a slate today where they said that, no lie, they're releasing 73 original movies this year. So Netflix is like, hey, we have all these movies, movie theaters, other studios, all your stuff. Step it up, because we have content after content after content, which not necessarily does that mean every single movie is going to be good, but it does mean that you will get a brand new movie every single week on Netflix, which is really, I mean, again, some people were kind of saying that HBO Max might kill Netflix, quality-wise, potentially. But I think Netflix, with them just rolling out more and more content and also getting big names, because there's a Ryan Reynolds movie, there's the Ryan Reynolds movie with, I think, The Rock in it as well. Like, they're getting big talent over there. Yeah, Tyler, I took the Netflix announcement as a threat. Yeah. I mean, when they're coming out claiming that they have all these movies coming out, I think it's if I was a studio, I'd be like, oh, we need to maybe start pushing some of these movies out or sell them to make some sort of money. And that's the thing is, with Netflix potentially thriving, they have the cash flow to buy some of these movies. It even is funny that I guess No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie, they've been really trying to push that out, trying to get that released. And even with them trying to get, I think it was Netflix and a handful of other streaming platforms to pay $600 million for it. And they were like, we won't even pay half for that. So that movie, I think they're just sitting on, literally, it's like, what do we do with these movies? Very interesting. We got Joshua over on TikTok. What is going on, Joshua? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, Cody, right there, boom. Bethesda. So Bethesda did a little teaser, a little bit of announcement. If you aren't aware of who they are, they put the Doom games out. They are in charge of Fallout. They have their hands in quite a few properties over the last decade, essentially. It was announced today that a brand new Indiana Jones game is coming from Bethesda with a brand new storyline that we've never even seen or heard of or anything before, which one, Bethesda, I do appreciate and like a lot of their games. I mean, they kind of shit the bed with Fallout 76, I think it was. But with them doing an Indiana Jones game, I mean, sure, it might be reflective and mirror and parallel Uncharted. I don't care. I want a game where I'm Indiana Jones with that music playing in the background and using the whip, because I mean, the closest Indiana Jones game that I played, I know that there was a handful of them where it was like the skull, or not the skull, it was the staff of the king, I believe. That was on PlayStation 2. Maybe someone looked that up. But Lego Indiana Jones was like the best Indiana Jones game I've played so far. So we will be getting, an Indiana Jones game from Bethesda. So I'm very excited for it. Fingers crossed that it's multi-platform, because if they are going to stick to just Xbox, I'm curious about that. Or I'm a little like, oh man, dang it, I really wanted that to come over to PlayStation 5, but we will see. We'll see. I'm very excited for it, though. I mean, that's the thing with the brand new year kicking off. We're finally getting some more announcements. I think that everyone is kind of realizing, hey, we can't just stop and wait for this to clean up or figure things out. We have to start releasing content. So that's kind of what these platforms and whatnot are doing. Gina is asking, is Free Guy going on Netflix? That's a really good question. I doubt it. I haven't heard anything about that yet, and I think that in reality, doesn't Disney own that movie? So if anything, they might release it on Disney Plus, I think, or Hulu. I could see them doing that. It would be a ding to the box office for sure, but that's one movie that I really want to see. We have Raged Bark in TikTok. What is going on, Raged? How are you doing tonight? Let's see what you are all saying. Jen, we got Jen in here. What is going on, Jennifer? Hopefully you are relaxing and not being too busy with all of your schoolwork and whatnot. Looking forward to Red Notice. Yeah, Red Notice, I think, is the one with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. Sweet Girl, not entirely sure what that one is, Mr. I-100. You might have to tell me in the chat. And then, yes, Army of the Dead is one that was on my most anticipated of last year, and they didn't even know it might. They were like, okay, it might come out in December. Once everything kind of shut down, that was a huge no-no, because they just had too much work on production for that. But Army of the Dead is probably my most anticipated of what I've heard. Again, I don't know too much about what Red Notice is going to be. I need to see a poster, a trailer, a teaser, something to get me excited. But the concept around Army of Dead, I think, is the coolest thing ever. It's straight up a video game. It is a bank heist in Las Vegas during a zombie apocalypse. It is 100% a Dead Rising video game movie, and I am so looking forward to that because it has the perfect amount of weird, out there potential action. I believe Zack Snyder is behind it, and I don't know, man. That is one of the movies I'm very much looking forward to from Netflix in the slate. Kristen Maldonado's in here. What is going on? I'm excited for Fear Street movies coming to Netflix. I saw you post about that like right before I went live. Are those based on Goosebumps books? Or is it from R.L. Stine, but a different property potentially? Because I know not only you, but a handful of other people were very excited for that. So again, Netflix is killing it. It will be killing it in 2021 for sure. Tyler is saying, I'm just curious if they'll get Harrison Ford's likeness or some weird-faced indie. I don't know, man. Just scan in his face from the original 3 movies, and then boom, you're set. But then again, would he have to get paid for that then? That's an interesting thing for sure, because it's like, okay, we're going to use your likeness, but you are the character, so how do we compensate you for that? Interesting. Let's see here. Sweet Girl is Jason Momoa. Jared, it looks like thriller or action. Well, hey man, I love a good action thriller, so If it's either of those two or combined, I am on board for that for sure. We got a few more people over on TikTok. We got Diane, what's going on? And Interpreting the Stars is over here. What is going on? There's a separate Fear Street book series R.L. Stine wrote that was more for teens. I'm going to have to look this up. He did this before Goosebumps. Okay, wow, I'm going to have to look that up because, yeah, I was huge into Goosebumps back in the day. But, yeah, with it being more teen, for some reason, I'm thinking that it might potentially be like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but not as creepy and weird, more of kind of like slasher. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about it, so that's one I'll be looking forward to. Kristen, was there a release date? Was there a release date for that Fear Street thing? Yeah, Netflix killing it for sure. I'm gonna let you guys chat or let the stream kind of catch up, but I'll probably jump over to just kind of talking about some of my favorite movies of 2020. Again, there isn't really a list. I'm gonna go down all of the movies that I saw, and every now and then when one pops up, I'm gonna kind of talk about it for a little bit. Again, just kind of a very laid back and chill stream. Let's see here. Yes, because it's copyright. Okay, so that makes sense. Any likeness. Wait a minute. I'm curious. Does copyright law work after you... Because, okay, copyright law is 70 years, isn't it? Or is it 75? If you take someone that died 75 years ago, can you then use their likeness? That's... What about the Tom Holland tweet that says January 14th? Yeah, Mr. I-100, I'm glad you brought that up before we switch over topics or whatever. Yeah, Tom Holland essentially tweeted out a cryptic tweet today that just said Thursday's date, 1/14/2021. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that this could potentially be a Spider-Man 3 announcement. It could be the name of the movie. It could be casting. We could get a poster. We could get a first teaser. We could get a release date because I know that they moved Morbius around, and Morbius ties in with Venom too, which potentially ties in with Spider-Man 3. I don't want to get my hopes high. I don't want anyone else to get their hopes up too high. But I think that announcement for the 1/14/2021 is going to be the first full trailer for the new Cherry movie of his coming out from Apple TV+. I know a handful of people have been fortunate enough to see that movie, but I don't know. I mean, it could be. It could be Spider-Man 3. Like, if it is Spider-Man 3, I think that'll explode the internets to be like, what if we got like a 15-second trailer? We see Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. All they're doing is wearing their Spidey suits, standing by one another. If so, that would be bananas, man. That would be bananas in pajamas for sure. Dean Man, hey, from Austria. What is going on? How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Love your TikTok and updates. They're direct, so thanks. Well, no, thank you for checking out the content and following and whatnot. Again, working on plenty more content, bite-sized content over there that I will be punching out. JB, way off topic, but I want to know if you think Clubhouse sounds cool or dumb. Clubhouse? What is Clubhouse? Cody, let me know what the hell Clubhouse is. For some reason, I'm thinking Clubhouse Disney. Or are you setting me up for like a joke right now? Clubhouse. Clubhouse sounds cool or dumb? Hey, what's going on, Mal? Thank you so much for tuning in. And then they did it with the Godfather game, I believe, with Marlon Brando's likeness. So yeah, it could be a thing where they do that for sure. What do you think will be the worst Scream movie, including Scream 5, when it comes out? That's a good question. I mean, again, because I recently watched all of the Scream movies, 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, I know that people always claim that 3, from what I've heard, again, I'm not a huge fan of them, people say that 3 is the worst. I had a hell of a time with it, where it was so goofy and weird, and kind of off topic and whatnot. 2, I think 2 was My least favorite. 4 was ridiculous, over the top, very much more gruesome, catering to the time that came out. 3 is very cheesy and fun, and 1 is obviously the original. I think 2 is my least favorite right now. It's a new platform for people to connect in groups. Okay. Cody is saying it's a new social media that's just an open chat line that you jump into and have conversations in groups of up to 20. So are you talking with 20 strangers, or is it just 20 people you know? Man, this Clubhouse, you know what? This is a thing we're going to have to talk about more on the podcast because I'm curious about this now. And shameless plug, people watching on TikTok, people in the chat for JBuck Live on YouTube. If you do want more of my mug, along with my two good buddies, Cody and Seth, be sure to listen to the SoCo Show podcast. I am a newly ordained third member of the podcast, so be sure to listen to the podcast. We basically talk about movies and stuff, but we've been great friends for a long time and very much comedy-centric and stuff with some cool, fun bits. So listen to the SoCo Show. You have to be invited into it. Okay. So apparently this Clubhouse social thing, you got to be invited into it. Keep up the good work. Got to go. Well, thank you, Rye Guy. I appreciate that so much for stopping by. And the comment, appreciate that. Come for that sweet Clubhouse talk. Yeah. All right, I'm going to switch this over. Again, people on TikTok, if you want a visual aid of the movies I'm going to be talking about, you can jump over from TikTok over to YouTube at JBuck Studios. And basically, it's just going to be me talking with this visual aid. If I can get this freaking thing up. What here? There we go. Is that what we want? That is not what we want. Movies. Where are you, Mr. Movies? That is freaking me out. There we go. All right. Transition, people. All right. There we go. For some reason, I love Scream 4, but I think it's my least favorite. Also, yeah, Reaction for Life. Whatever movie you just put in the chat, Outside the Wire, is that one coming out this week? Because if so, that's the one that I have to watch tonight. And look out for my review tomorrow. Again, if I don't fall asleep after this, that will be a review that I have a little bit early. Let's see here. So this is just my list of 2020 movies. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to scroll down. Every time I see a movie that was one of my favorites, I'll just stop and talk about it. Again, in the chat, let me know if there's any movies that you guys really loved from last year that are your favorites, anything like that. So obviously January, not that much great things. Doolittle, absolutely not my favorite. The Gentleman was fun. Again, not my favorite, but it was a fun change of pace. I remember I went to that one. Usually I go to Thursday night movies or Saturday matinee. That one I went with a buddy on a Friday night. It was a packed theater. This was before COVID. We had a couple drinks. It was a fun time. So yeah, if people haven't watched The Gentleman, check that out. Check that one out. It's a fun one. God, I'm trying to think. Who was the guy behind that one? He always has those the accents in the movies. What is it? Dang it. I don't know. Someone in the chat's going to correct me. Again, I have a brain freeze right now. The Lodge was a pleasant surprise. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up. The Lodge right here. The Lodge was one that not only did I think it was the thing with the experience of that movie was made that movie even better for myself, because I drove 2 hours for an early screening of that movie to a movie theater I've never even been to, a place I had never even been to, and watched that movie. And then they had like a Q&A with the directors and whatnot. So cool stuff there. Cool stuff for sure. Yeah, The Lodge is one that I think people need to check out if you haven't, because it's like this horror kind of suspense cult type movie, and it is chilling at times, and honestly, it makes you really think. Also, if you want a nice ending explained, check that out for sure. Let's see here. Interpreting the Stars. I've jumped over from TikTok. What is going on, Interpreting the Stars? Yes, Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie is the one behind The Gentleman and all of those other movies. So yeah, fun stuff there. You know what? Sonic. I had a fun time with Sonic. Again, not going to be one of the best movies out there of this year, but I had a fun time with it because, there was the whole fiasco with the changing of the design, but it was fun, it was quirky, it was weird. The voice of Ben Schwartz was amazing, and also Jim Carrey was so weird. He was so weird as Dr. Eggman, which... we're going to get a sequel, which is going to be awesome. Very much looking forward to that sequel to see if they can kind of take what they have there and kind of expand upon that. Impractical Jokers. I mean, it's more of like what I liked about that, the bits, the gags, the pranks that they pulled in that are very fun. But I think that the kind of weird, goofy through line that they did to kind of pad out the movie is something that I surprisingly liked. I know a lot of people didn't. They thought it was really cheesy. But I thought it was so much fun because it was goofy and weird, and it was them playing their younger selves and whatnot. I don't know. I had a good time with that one. Sonic has the best movie blue guy since Yondu. Yeah, every year we got to get a blue guy award out there. Let's see here. Yes, God, Yes, with Natalie Dyer. Yeah, that was one that was I missed at the festival circuit. I missed in the movie theaters, but I watched it on streaming, and that's one that I think people could check out. It has a good message in there. It's only 80 minutes, so it's a very quick watch. Yes, God, yes, for sure. Cody's saying I laughed my ass off at Impractical Jokers, man. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. Again, I think I went to that one out of the whim. Seth of the SoCo Show recommended that one to myself. Went out, had a great time with it. All right, scrolling down. The Assistant. That's a smaller indie film. I really thought that it had a powerful message and an interesting story. Check that one out. Again, not necessarily one of my favorites, but one that I really appreciated what they did for it. Let's see here. Emma. Emma was one that I thought it was, a period piece, and Anya Taylor-Joy, and just everything that played out. I thought it was so kind of witty and fun, and again, this game of love. But the story's been done before, but I just loved everything that they really did with it. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one not that many people were really talking about. Cody is saying Invisible Man. Yeah, Invisible Man was one that I think I skipped. I had a fun time with that. I liked the grounded sense of everything. Them really taking kind of the sci-fi nature of the Invisible Man, but making it somewhat realistic. So yeah, that was a fun one for sure. Onward, yeah, I think out of Onward and Soul, I cried way more at Onward because I have a brother, and I think that story hit me a little bit harder than Soul. Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus, people, so check that one out for sure. We have some people. We have Angel over on TikTok. What is going on, Angel? And then we got Benny. May you do X-Files. Saw it on YouTube. Might have to. I'll add it to the list, man. I'll have to add that one to the list for the movie details. Let's see here. So right here, this is where theaters shut down. I was in Austin, and these are only 2 movies I got to see, and then everything kind of shut down. Let's see here. Yeah, there was kind of a slew of just Netflix stuff that I watched. Nothing too crazy that stood out. Coffee and Cream, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Do not watch that. Right here, people. The creme de creme. Butt Boy. If you haven't, you need to go rent Butt Boy right now. This movie is available on VOD, I believe. It might be streaming. Actually, it is streaming for free on Tubi right now. I don't know who uses Tubi, but if you want to, Tubi, it is free. And Butt Boy is maybe one of my favorite, probably top 5 favorite movies of 2020, because it takes this ridiculous concept of a guy putting things up his butt, but it takes the seriousness of a crime noir detective after a killer story. And it is so stylistic. It is 80s synth music. Butt Boy, people. Butt Boy is one of my favorite movies of 2020. So check that one out for sure. Let me fix this camera. Oh, we went the wrong way. There we go. We get any endgame details yet? Adam, I'm still working on some endgame stuff for sure, so maybe this week, if not next week. I know there's a lot of requests over on TikTok about movie details, so I'm just trying to catch up with those. All right, scrolling down. Yeah, Butt Boy is one that people need to talk about. Don't disrespect the origin of the wet Cody. Yeah, Cody really enjoyed Onward. Words on the Bathroom Walls is tied in first for Promising Young Woman for me. Yeah, Promising Young Woman is one that I'm very glad people are going to be able to see this weekend. It's coming to VOD, and I highly recommend you renting that one. Very, very good. I can't wait for the sequel. Buttman! Let's see here. Scrolling on. The Last Days of American Crime, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Do not watch that. 365, one of the worst, but yet one of the hottest movies I've ever seen. Da Five Bloods. Da Five Bloods was a pleasant surprise for sure. Powerful acting. And again, I've had this conversation with Seth and Cody many a time. But the scene where they are just going through the club at the beginning of Da Five Bloods, not really the beginning, but the first 5-10 minutes, or not first 5, but the first 30 minutes is so ingrained in my mind as a fun scene in a movie. Da Five Bloods, it kind of is almost a 2-part story where it's, focusing on these old friends getting back together, going on vacation, but then it turns into kind of a treasure hunt and then a drama towards the end. Very interesting for sure, so check that one out. 2 right here that were Netflix movies that I don't think anyone is really even talking about or even watched. Nobody Knows I'm Here and Straight Up. So Nobody Knows I'm Here was a huge, pleasant surprise. Essentially, the concept of this movie is this child singer isn't good looking enough, so he is the talent, and then someone takes the spotlight, essentially, and does that for several years. And then you fast forward, and he is now an adult. And you find out how this has really messed him up, of this person essentially having fame, and he is left out of the spotlight. But it's the very end of that movie, and the way that they end it with a certain song from our character is something that really stuck with me and brought me to tears. So that Nobody Knows I'm Here is one that so many people completely just skipped out on, that I would recommend as being a movie experience that was very, very fun. And then Straight Up was this updated kind of Gen Z rom-com, but the performances and the chemistry and the dialogue is so great between the characters because it's so witty, it's so analytical, it is so smart, and the jokes are quick. They don't sit and make you think about a joke. They are like, that's a funny joke, but we're going to keep going on with the movie. So Straight Up is another one that I cannot recommend enough. Cody is saying Straight Up is very nice. Really enjoyed that one. The Platform and The Occupant were outstanding Spanish Netflix films. The Platform, 100% Mike, man. The Platform was one that I think I actually watched twice. It's 90 minutes, so it's a quick watch, but I did an ending explain for it. I broke it down. I really, really enjoyed that movie. It's a cool concept for sure. And that's one thing that I really kind of got into this year, of watching more foreign movies, foreign language, international movies. And again, there's a handful of them that were really pleasant surprises for myself. Some of these movies I forgot even existed. Yeah, Mr. I-100. When you're watching a bunch of movies, they kind of just disappear from you. Desperados, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. If you do want to watch something funny, I don't know what the time code is, but our main character is on a date and then gets slapped in the face with a dolphin penis. So I guess if you're into that, check that movie out. Palm Springs. Palm Springs is by far one of my favorite movies. It is an interesting concept. I'm not going to spoil anything because I recommend you knowing nothing about this movie if you haven't seen it. Palm Springs, though, Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, I believe. Kind of an interesting rom-com with a twist. Very fun, very goofy. The chemistry amongst them is so great. Palm Springs is just a feel-good movie. I can't recommend that one enough. Check that one out. Favorite movie for sure. Relic. Relic was one that a lot of people kind of didn't even see. It's one that I don't think I want to watch again because it takes the idea of Alzheimer's and dementia and puts it into a horror film. And if any of that right there interests you, highly recommend watching Relic. I believe it is on VOD right now. You can rent it, probably $5, $6, $7. It's a quick watch, 90 minutes, I think. But it's really interesting to see how dementia can tear apart a person, but also tear apart a family and the horror that goes along with that. So I even think that I read some articles of interviews of the director and the screenwriter, and they said that this was a deeply personal story. And they visualized that horror perfectly in that film. So Relic for sure is one from IFC Midnight, I believe. What are you guys all on YouTube saying? I don't know what Ballin was saying about Palm Springs. Seeing Cody from a different angle on Shot Ones made my day. Yeah, Shot Ones. Yeah, people, if you haven't checked it out, check out Shot Ones on YouTube. Episode 2. We're trying to find a way to do that show remotely and getting potential guests on. Stay tuned. But I will say, please go like that and support that video because we put a lot of time and I put a lot of money into editing that. So please check that one out. Amulet, not one of my favorites. One of the most batshit crazies, pun intended. One of the most batshit crazy movies I've seen of last year. So yeah, if you're into crazy, weird horror films, check out Amulet. We got Tinky Winky official Tinky Winky is on TikTok. What is going on? Official Tinky Winky. Foreign films, like I was saying, foreign films. The Hater. Apparently, this is a sequel. They have a prequel movie out as well. But The Hater is one that I think is timely because they're talking about social media and how you can be manipulated by it, and it's as easy as that. But also, it's a chilling thriller, a chilling suspense thriller of a man that just keeps pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Yeah, check that one out. That one's on Netflix, actually, so you check it out. Hey, can the dragon use his wig as a boomerang? I would say so. I would say he can. Work It was a kind of a fun, cheesy dance movie. Again, maybe not my favorite, but I had a fun time with it. Project Power, cool concept, did not land. Unhinged. Oh my God, people. Unhinged. Unhinged is a ridiculous... I can't even explain it. Like, I had such a fun time with this movie. Not great, but it's so much fun because it's like, boom, we are right into the action, and the way it just keeps ramping up and ramping up and ramping up of essentially road rage. Like, one guy was pushed too far, someone crossed him a little bit too much on the road, and he went crazy. So yeah, Unhinged is a very fun movie for sure. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is one that I really enjoyed. One of my, probably in my top 15, it might crack my top 10. Again, I don't have a top 10 list, but I really enjoyed it because it made me think. It was interesting. It's a thinker of a movie. It's a movie that you're going to have to break down, probably watch more than once for sure. It's on Netflix. It's based on a book by the same name. I believe the book, though, has a different ending or the source material. Yeah, if you've heard of the book, heard of the movie, anything, recommend checking that one out. That one's honestly, that one's bonkers because you don't even know what's happening until not even, like, you have to watch I'm thinking of ending things, and then watch my ending explained, because it'll hopefully paint a better picture of the movie for you. The only thing that I will say and caution people out there is that it is a very dialogue heavy film. It is people sitting in a car, people sitting at a table, people sitting in a building having conversations. Tenet, cool idea, didn't think it panned out too well. Social Dilemma is not a movie, but highly recommend that one. The Babysitter 2, I had a fun time with for sure. If you've watched that, those make for a great double feature. Babysitter 1 and 2 on Netflix. They're both like about 100 minutes. Very fun, slasher type movies. Don't take them seriously. Go in, enjoy them for their cheese, essentially. And they're from McG, so some of the stuff is very like over the top and whatnot. We got Rob in here. Number one for me was Promising Young Woman. Yeah, Promising Young Woman is by far one of my favorites, one of my top movies of 2020 for sure. Enola Holmes was cute and fun. Possessor. All right, Possessor is one of my favorites and best movies, probably in my top 10 for both, because it was this unique idea of sci-fi, horror, body horror, interesting concepts, and again, makes you really think at the end of the day. I mentioned at the top of this stream that I don't really rewatch movies too much. I watched Possessor, which is messed up because it's a messed up movie if you've seen it. I watched it probably 3 or 4 times. I mean, I had to a couple times for the ending explained, but man, I just couldn't get over it. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, this is an interesting concept. I love this sci-fi angle of things. All right, closing out, last 5 minutes, people. I'll try to hurry this up a bit, but if you guys have any final questions via TikTok or YouTube, let me know in the chat. Hoobie Halloween. Hoobie Halloween from the trailer. Everyone knew it was going to be bad. I had a hell of a time with it. It was fun. It was goofy. I've watched a lot of Adam Sandler films, so I feel like I got a little bit more out of it. And that's the thing is, like, there's references hidden in the movie to his other movies, which was so darn fun. Hoobie Halloween, Adam Sandler, goofy, weird Halloween film. Check it out. Over the Moon was a fun animated movie. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be one that people are going to talk about in the coming years, but the music is like this, not 90s, but like pop music, like pop dance music. Ultra Luminary, I listened to it, no lie, for a couple weeks on repeat because it was such a catchy beat for sure. Saint Maud, crazy ridiculous. Chicago 7, The Trial of the Chicago 7 is a wonderful movie. I think that it's because it takes this concept or this historical event and shows you how everything played out. The performances are great. If you're into courtroom dramas, this is by far a must-watch via Netflix. I remember watching it. I was like, God damn, this is so much like. It's weird because it's courtroom drama, it's a serious material, but it's very fun because the performances of everyone, especially Jeremy Strong and Sacha Baron Cohen, it was just great. The Kid Detective. This is one that was recommended to me from Seth from the SoCo show, and this is one that I absolutely adored. It is this kind of pulpy 50s detective, like it's a kid where he was a detective but now he's an adult, and it's kind of like, how do I deal with that fame? How do I deal with now solving cases of essentially like murder and everything like that? So it is one to definitely look out for. I want to say that it's going to hit streaming on January 21st. Don't quote me on that, but I know that it's going to hit Amazon and a few other streaming platforms soon. Cannot recommend that one enough. Very fun, very funny at times, but also it has a hard-hitting message at the very end of things. Borat, obviously, so much fun. I know some people are like, oh, it's propaganda, whatever. No, it's fun. I turned my brain off. I had a great time. Borat, especially the daughter, God, I can't think of what her name is. She was absolutely wonderful, giving a nice dynamic to that movie. Synchronic. Synchronic was a cool sci-fi movie. Anthony Mackie, Jamie Dornan. Anthony Mackie is kind of a guy that's dealing with like these reality bending time elements, and it's a unique concept. I think that that's the thing that I really enjoyed about Synchronic the most, and why it's one of my favorites, is because it's taking these sci-fi elements that I have never seen before. It'll hit streaming on January 21st. Jared. I don't know, man. Don't quote me on that. Damn it. Someone quoted me on that. But Synchronic is one that I definitely recommend checking out. I don't think it's available for streaming yet, but definitely recommend it, people. What are you guys on YouTube saying? May I suggest The Life Ahead of Netflix if you haven't seen it yet? The Life Ahead on Netflix. Jay, I have not seen that one. Let me know in the chat if that's kind of if that's like a thriller, if it's a rom-com, a drama. Let me know. I'm curious because I know that Netflix, they have definitely hidden movies every now and then. I'm looking forward to watching Promising Young Woman. Yeah, Mr. I-100. Definitely recommend that one. That's probably, out of all of the movies we've talked about today, that's probably one that if anything, you have to watch that movie. Promising Young Woman, VOD this Friday, people. His House. I'm not a horror fan, but His House has a powerful message, and also it's creepy as hell. I thought it was well done. It's kind of, I think, a foreign film, a little bit international film, but definitely recommend that one if you're into horror, kind of thriller, suspense. It does get a little trippy towards the end of the film, but it is one that, no lie, I had to watch during the day with the lights on, with the windows open, and I still screamed at the TV because anytime someone is running down a dark hallway and it is dark, it is absolutely terrifying. So His House on Netflix, definitely recommend, people. Run on Hulu was pretty fun. The Sound of Metal. The Sound of Metal is not only one of my favorite, but one of the best movies. And Riz Ahmed, who is the main lead in this movie, will get nominated for Best Actor because his performance is phenomenal. And not only that, but the concept in the movie, essentially, of this rocker who has addiction problems, is slowly losing, or he's a drummer, rather, in a rock band, and he is slowly losing his hearing. And you can see how that leads someone on that has addiction problems on this journey, essentially. And it is focused on the deaf community, and I think what they do and how they frame that is such a unique way of showing something that you haven't ever experienced. And the way that they play with sound and the soundtrack, and lack thereof sound, is cool. So Amazon, Sound of Metal, recommend that one for sure. People, check that one out. We're getting close to the end. Okay, yeah. Out of these final ones, I mean, Soul, everyone knows that that's a wonderful movie. Very interesting for sure. But finally, Promising Young Woman, which is hitting VOD this Friday, the 15th, I believe. Cannot recommend this one more. This one is probably my one or two best movies and favorite movies of 2020. Carey Mulligan is fantastic. It has this kind of bubbly feel, but it's very much tackling relevant issues in this revenge movie. His or her chemistry with Bo Burnham in this movie is so much fun. Like, there's this scene of them in a pharmacy, just kind of dancing and having fun, and kind of a montage. That it made me smile, but also at the very end, like the end of the movie, is something that you have to watch. Promising Young Woman is a must-watch. If you're looking for any movies of 2020, is a must-watch movie. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm sure I missed a few. Yellow Rose was another one. I didn't actually review it on my channel because I saw it. Boom, right there. Seth said it right there. Don't forget Yellow Rose. Yes, Yellow Rose is a must-see as well because it is a smaller indie movie. It is essentially an indie version of A Star is Born, where it is taking this girl who is from, oh God, Seth, where is she from? Is it Guatemala? And her mom essentially gets deported she stays in the States, but she is very good at music and essentially follows her dream of becoming a country singer. And it is a smaller one that I think people need to go and seek out, because it didn't get the love I don't think that it really deserves. And I remember watching it and I was in love with the way everything played out. I think that is one that is probably on rental right now. If not, it'll be coming soon, and I'm definitely going to be trying to rewatch that one as well. We got Slim Shady Army. You are cool, dude, and make great videos. Well, Slim Shady, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the comment, and thank you for the support. I mean, anything and everything you guys are doing here, following, liking, commenting, everything over on TikTok, it really helps out. Philippines. Okay, yeah, you're right. Seth is saying it's not Guatemala, it is the Philippines where her mom gets deported to. Yellow Rose, people. Yellow Rose is that's in my top 10 best of 2020 for sure. Maybe next week we can do top 10 and top like the worst movies, maybe something like that. Just kind of, a relaxed fit like this, rather than kind of me sitting and breaking down into a more produced type video. Before we go, I'm going to read some of these comments. Let's see here. Only asking because we were talking about movies that hit 20 years old now. Favorite 2001 movie. Jay, I would have to look that one up. I think that'd be a fun, interesting idea for an episode of JBuck Live coming up, of being like, hey, what is your favorite, list our favorite movies from a certain year. I think that'd be really cool. That'd be fun for sure. So I like that. Lord of the Rings, I like that one. I think Two Towers is my favorite, which I think that was, 2003, if I'm correct. And then Rob is saying, Jared, have you seen Minari? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have not. That is one that many, many people have recommended to myself, and I have not watched yet. So I think I need to watch it before the Oscars. And that's the thing, is when Oscars come around, I'm probably going to do a live stream. I'll probably do my predictions, all of that stuff. But I will probably need to watch quite a few of those movies that I missed that are going to be nominated and whatnot. And then Super Bowl is coming up with Morbius delayed and more movies coming out delayed. Do you think that we'll get TV spots? And guess we'll only get Raya and the WB movies for HBO Max. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, because with the Super Bowl coming up and movies being delayed and because that's a big night for not only sports fans but movie fans, because that's when we get a lot of trailers, a lot of teasers, a lot of announcements. I mean, a few years ago, Netflix dropped the Cloverfield Paradox. Hey, you can go watch it after the Super Bowl, which is crazy. That is something that I want to definitely talk about in the coming weeks, of predictions to see what we might get. I think Morbius, we might get another trailer. Potentially Venom 2, maybe a teaser, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else we'll get. I think Raya is a good bet, and then some of the WB movies for sure. Hey, Ryan O'Toole's in here. What is going on, Ryan? Hopefully you're doing well, sir, in this year of 2021. Anyways, people, that is kind of a list of my favorite movies. We actually kind of just went down a list of everything that really came out this year and then kind of said our thoughts. But no, we're a few minutes over. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Again, like, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. You guys are making this dream come true. If you haven't, please share my channel with your friends, because I'm trying to get that subscribe number up to then be able to apply for Rotten Tomatoes come March. That would be a dream come true. That would literally, I would shit my pants. I would literally shit my pants if I was able to have that happen this year. So please, people, make that one happen. We'll be back next week with JBuck Live. We'll maybe try to have some fun stuff. If not, we'll go through the top 10 or top bottom 10 worst movies of 2020. Follow me on TikTok for sure. And then this week, oh my God, I have so much content coming out. I have 2 reviews that I got to finish tonight, 2 movies to watch tomorrow, 1 movie to watch Thursday, and then 2 episodes of WandaVision to watch and review. So it is a very busy week. Also, I will say, if people that are watching need any sort of audio engineering, graphic design, or video production work done, I myself, along with a buddy, Nolan, NPA, we have a company called Room 56 Studios. We do any sort of work. If you have a creative vision you are trying to do, anything from small things like a little bit of a logo, like a YouTube logo, all the way up to corporate gigs or a documentary, we're doing anything and everything in there. So people out there, if you need any sort of work, hit me up on social media for your work. Otherwise, jump over to room56studios.com. If you want more of me, listen to the SoCo Show podcast. I am now the third co-host on that podcast, along with Cody Michael and Seth Ott. Very fun podcast. We're switching up the concept over there, kind of the structure, a little bit more free. They also do, we do a monthly live podcast as well. So if any of you are into that, be sure to check out all of that crazy stuff. And then, yes, it is for sure One Night in Miami and WandaVision on Friday for Mr. I-100. Yep, those are the two things. I actually am going to try to watch One Night in Miami tonight. I think tonight or tomorrow, one of the two. So that will be coming very soon. Anyways, people, I got to get out of here. I'm 9 minutes over the time I schedule myself. But everyone stay safe, keep fun, or keep doing your thing. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. This weekend, watch movies. One Night in Miami, I heard is good. WandaVision and Promising Young Woman. All of those, definitely check them out, people. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go make myself a drink and edit 18 things. Bye-bye.